Hey everybody, hope everybody can see and hear me okay. It is August 11th. It's about 1 o'clock in the morning, and we are going to continue on with success traits and things you can do to make yourself successful, or things you could do to better yourself and those people around you, but also start thinking outside the box. Um, like I said, today is Tuesday, today's Wednesday. Man, I get my days mixed up sometimes, which I apologize for. So, other things that you can do is remember this. If you want to actually be truly successful, you've got to do things that other people are not willing to do. You hear it a lot in the military, the different things that men and women of the military have done in order to succeed at missions or even just to join the military in general. Okay, but this is not always about military. A lot of success comes from opening a business, being a network marketer. Maybe you're trying to get the promotion at work. Had a buddy of mine. I've had several people contact me because they needed to get general manager positions. They needed to have ideas on how to write resumes, what to put into applications. And in fact, over on LinkedIn, I saw one of the things today that somebody is asking, what is a resume? Should it be about you? Should it be about the business? Should it be about something else? A resume is a brief interpretation of you. And whenever I used to look at resumes and hire people and hire my general managers and my staff and everything else, the people that were going to hire everybody else, what I always looked at was not always everything about them, but to see if they could adapt to the environment around them. So whenever you're writing something out, you want to make sure that people know that you can keep moving up, that you can keep moving forward. If you keep your resumes and your applications very broad, and I only know how to do Microsoft Word, I can only type out 200 words a minute, and I'm not willing to adapt, they're probably going to look past you. Now, if you make it look like, yes, I can do this, but I'm always working on myself. You have to make it look like you're always working on yourself. You have to write them up that you're always doing the thing that will, you got to capture their attention. As simple as that. Do the one thing that catches their attention. I will tell you this. When people came in to give me resumes at whenever I used to do things or ask me different questions, when they physically came in and gave me the resume or gave me the application, I'd write their name at the top of the list. And I'd put something on their resume application that they came in and they were going to get a call back no matter what. People that had other people bring in their resumes or would put them in the mail and send them to me or try to email me them, I've never seen them. And the reason why is because to me, they were making what I'm doing less important than what they're trying to accomplish. You have to understand, as a business owner, a network marketer, as a boss, as a general manager, we have to put what we're doing ahead of everything else. We have to make sure that people know we're there for a reason. Whenever you do a job that you're passionate about and you love, and then you're going to hire somebody for it, you want to hire somebody that's going to love and be passionate about it, that can help you grow. It's funny is because everybody always asks me, why did all these wealthy businessmen who've never been to college, who created all these fantastic things in the United States, why did they start hiring college kids? Well, because what happened is college kids were taught to do the work of the owner so that the owner could make more money. In other words, you're making that person more money and you're taught to love that job as much as the owner does. Now you're taught to take over the job. Problem is, you're never going to own the job. How many people work at Walmart but will never be an owner of Walmart? Okay. How many people, work at these different franchises, but will never be an owner? Now, some places you can buy into the companies, but you're never going to be the head of the company. You're never going to be one of the Koch brothers. You're never going to be, the people, even though it's a big corporation now and they own many, many different stocks and many, many different companies, you're never going to be the head of Pepsi or Frito-Lay or Taco Bell or any of those places. But you can be the managers of them, and you can go in there and you can help benefit the company. There was a story I used to always like to read. A lady went to work for a company, and the boss said, look, if you actually can make us X amount of dollars and you actually work hard enough, we'll pay you X amount of dollars, which is a higher fee. So what she did was she actually ended up working like 7 days a week, knowing that it would take at least 3 years. And she worked her butt off for this company. And the company grew. She made the company millions and millions of dollars, and the company paid her what she was worth. When after the 3 years and the guarantee that they said, this is what I did for the company, I think they were started paying her over $100 million. Why? Because she was bringing in a $500 million for the company by what she was doing. Notice, and then later on, she kept working her way up. Now, did she make as much as the owners of the company and stuff? No, but they paid her what she is worth, and which is way more than anybody else. But the reason why they paid her is they took it out of a percentage. Okay, so if she's bringing in a $500 million, then we can pay her at least 1% of what she's bringing in, or at least 5%. A lot of people get mad because they look at like the CEO of Disney World or the CEO of McDonald's, and they get really, really mad because they're like, man, you could be paying us all $15 an hour, but they're looking at it wrong. They're looking at it as in, I'm going to come and work for you and do very minimal work and get paid, X amount of dollars. See, now, if you were to take a bigger pay cut, then you could be paying us all a lot more. What a lot of people don't know are those people that are making the bigger dollars are actually working almost 7 days a week. Believe it or not, you have to make money work for you. But if you're in one of these big companies and they're counting on you, remember that CEO, he's working for all of the McDonald's, which means he's having meetings all the time. They're looking at new products coming out. Look at all the lawsuits. I mean, everything that goes on with the second largest landowner in the world, which is McDonald's. And a lot of people look at me like, what? You got to understand, there's a lot going on that you don't know about. So when the Crocs opened up McDonald's and they started paying their staff, now also look at each McDonald's is individually owned, okay, but they get their products and everything else. So if you want to have success, you got to start looking at it a different way. You can't look at it as in, I'm going to go to work, do a minimal job. I'm going to sweep the floors, and I'm going to start complaining, and they have to pay me $15 an hour because I know how to sweep a floor. Okay, well, then you look across the street, a guy fixing an engine on a car that takes talent, that takes a little bit of knowledge, and that person is making $10 an hour, yet now you're asking to make more than that guy because you swept a floor. And because that you see these big corporate people as making all this big money. They make the money because they take a percentage out of what the profits are coming in from the company. Now, the one times you do get mad are like when the guy decided to up the EpiPens and up, what was it, the AIDS medication and stuff like that to where it was thousands of dollars when it was just normally like $25 or $35 because they're like, oh, we're going to make a... No, that guy deserves to be in jail because that's screwing over the customer just because you're being an idiot. And Congress went after him. Okay, because like I said, when you have kids that have peanut allergies and stuff like that, and all of a sudden your insurance can't cover you no more because EpiPens are over $1,000 when normally they were 35, there's a problem there. That is basically taking advantage, and that is basically hurting your customer base and your consumers by basically pricing out something that's rare that nobody can get anywhere else, and now you have a monopoly on it. Okay, and that's kind of what the internet's kind of doing right now is they got monopolies on the news. They got monopolies on everything. So whenever you do something, the whole idea is if you get big, that's fine, but make people want the very thing that you have. Make people want to go to the very place that you want to open up. Make people like when all these dress places and everybody's like the clothing shops and the people, believe it or not, they're still doing rather well compared to the internet because people still need to try on clothes. People still see the something different, something new. Yeah, you can go to Walmart and get your clothes. Yeah, you can go to Amazon. But if you want that different fashion, even like I said, you can get stuff online, but there are some areas that people would rather go buy. And I like to frequent small businesses. Okay. So if you're a small business, remember this: offer things that nobody else has. Keep a nice price to it, but also make people want to come to your establishment. Make them want to come and visit. Make them feel like they're a family. Make them feel like they're great customer service. If you're network marketing, understand if you're trying to sell a product, be nice and like let them know how to do it. Show up. Don't just sit there and send them a website. Show up. I do stuff like this all the time so people know, different things that you can do and actually have an idea of how to get ahead in the world, okay? But so many people, this is stuff here that I'm telling you. I know you think it's basic or anything else, but this is the kind of stuff they teach you in college, okay? And there's not a person alive that cannot have true success if they want it, if they're willing to do what it takes. Now, yes, you must think smarter, not work harder. On the other hand, if you're not willing to work and you're not willing to put in the time or the effort or take the chance, if you can't take a no, then yes, you're not going to get anywhere in life. You're going to fail. And guess what? When you tell everybody, "Oh, God, no, you failed. You failed because you refused to do what needed to be done. Instead, you wanted to do what you wanted to do. And instead of doing what others wanted you to do, see, you can sweep floors at McDonald's, okay, and they're going to pay you. But when all of a sudden you show interest in wanting to make a Big Mac, so now all of a sudden you're working and you're putting some big, well, make me like, hey, you know what? I want to flip those burgers over there. Now you're flipping the burgers. Okay, well, now all of a sudden they need somebody on fries. Now you learn how to do the fries. All of a sudden they're short of help, and all of a sudden you volunteer to start learning how to do drive through, learning how to do the cash register, learning to do birthday parties. That's what I did when I worked at McDonald's. I started out sweeping floors, believe it or not. And then this is at the time where they were still toasting buns. Okay. And I moved all the way up to birthday parties and stuff like that. But I was more into, since I was also a lifeguard and everything else at the time. But in the wintertime, I'd, work in retail. Okay. And I'd work over the YMCA. So I'd go from retail to YMCA. Plus, I was in school and I was doing college at the same time. I wanted to make money, but I also wanted, so I had real world experience. And then I joined the military. And a lot of people don't know, while I was active duty in the military with 2nd Battalion, 8th Marines, and Echo Company, and then later on Golf Company, you know, when everybody else out doing it, I was not only in college still while in the Marine Corps, so I was doing college, but I was also working over at a community center. And I got several degrees. And when I got out of the military and went to college, I was able to finish college off earlier. And yes, I did. I came home and opened up a business. Now, this is where I need to start writing a book, which I'm not going to go too much into detail. But the whole idea is I was trying to do things that others did not want to do. And I saw people falling out all around me, and that is actually what motivated me. I didn't want to quit. I didn't want to give up. I didn't want to fall out. And yes, I've made a lot of great friends along the way. Yes, I've pissed people off along the way. Yes, I've come up with a lot of great ideas on doing different things in order to get volunteer organizations to be able to make more money, to be able to market themselves a lot better. And even though I'm not into the marketing business, I've done more marketing than a lot of people that actually give advice on marketing and how to push a product out. So I usually give that advice for free, because then when people come and they look at what I offer, I'm there for them. I help them out, and all of a sudden I show them a value of what I can offer them. And it actually does them some good. So the whole idea is make yourself available, try to do for others as much as you can. Keep pushing yourself every day and don't give up. Don't burn yourself out either. That was one of my biggest things. And is I would burn myself out because I created places to where everybody wanted to go, so I had nowhere else to go except work where I was at. Um, every place I did, from swimming to nightclubs to bars and everything else, I made places where everybody wanted to be. And so when I had no choice but to keep working, because I was at the exact places where everybody was at. And I probably should have taken more time and more breaks and stuff, but I can't help it. It's just who I am. It's what I do. And I've had lots of success. But one of the things a lot of people don't know is I love taking old buildings and old houses and keeping them with the original structure, but I like to update them, and I don't like to tear them down because I like the old architecture. I like the old wainscoting. Places in Texas and stuff, you can take old doorknobs out of old buildings and you can sell them places all across the United States. But to me, I'd rather keep the old facade, the old wooden floors and stuff like that, and restain them, waterproof them, put a little insulation, uh, and that's what I actually like to do because I like the history of places. I'm not somebody that likes to tear down places. I actually like the history. I'm very big into history. I like the history of different things. I don't want to get rid of history. But on the other hand, you have to understand, in that type of business, which I'm not in anymore, which I may get back into someday, um, it's very pricey because of how much historic things cost. It's easier to tear things down and build new than it is to refabricate, refurbish, do the architecture, because, like I said, a lot of these old buildings, um, their walls are the supports inside. They don't have beams and stuff supporting like the newer buildings do. You got to do a lot of deadwood. You got to do a lot of biscuits. I'm forgetting half of what I'm talking about right now. Anyway, we'll keep it at that. Just remember this: keep pushing yourself every day. Tell those around you that you love them. Never let anybody in your life think for a minute that they're not important, okay? Do whatever it takes. Some of us, we have to do a lot in order to let people know that we care about them, that they matter. And each and every one of you matters. Each and every one of you is important. I care about each and every one of you. If you're military, thank you. If you're just somebody that's tuning in, hey, you matter also. But know this: each and every day, y'all matter. Y'all are awesome. And never forget that. I'm Jeffrey Jansen. I hope you all have a great evening tonight. Anyway, that's my little advice on how to get ahead in the world. Talk to you later soon, everybody. Bye now.